So now I'm going to lay out this bathroom. Tile, tile to here, and then the whole wall gets tile. The ceiling gets tiled. It's to cut out an area for me up there. And then you might notice that there's no mixing valve. We've got a lot of plumbing here. This guy's actually a plumber, so a lot of plumbing in here. We've got all these water jets, but there's no mixing valve. That's because it's an electronic mixing valve. And I put this here, so I'm going to cut a hole in the tile. Wire is going to go through, and it's going to connect. There's going to be a touchpad for the to turn the water on and off. So if there's no power, there's no shower. So that's it. So I'm going to start laying this out. Okay, so I recently finished a bathroom shower, which had a 72-inch linear drain, and had large format tile on the walls, a 12 by 12 tile on the ceiling, and some river rock on the floor. And it did have a curb. The linear drain was on the back wall, and the floor was sloped to the back wall towards the shower. So I'm going to split this video into a series of videos showing the installation of each part of the video. I'm going to start actually, in this case, I have footage of installing the wall board, which would be, in this case, Schluter Curdy board, 1/2 inch. I have a video of that, but I'm actually going to start with the layout. The first video is going to be about the layout of the tile after all the Curdy board and the mud floor is installed. But there's also a time-lapse video. Well, what I refer to it as a time-lapse. It's actually a fast-forward. Okay, so I'll link to that in the cards in the corner here, and there's also a video, like a major steps video of the installation of the shower floor, where I screeded the mud towards the drain. And I will actually be doing more detailed videos about those steps in the future. The first video, as I said, is going to be about the layout of the tile. In this case, it was actually pretty simple. Sometimes it's not quite as simple, but it's going to be quite a few tips on there on how I went about this. So I'll make several videos about the entire installation. As I said, I'll have more detailed installation of the shower floor, where I installed the mud, and the river rock or pebbles or whatever you want to call it. And so I pretty much always use mud when I do a shower floor, most of the time. Sometimes I will use a shower tray, a foam tray, but mostly I like the mud because it gives me more flexibility as to the size, the depth, the floor. Doesn't matter what condition the floor is in, because the mud can fix that. When you use a foam tray, which is, I've done that in the past, your floor has to be flat and level, and it has to be in good condition. If your floor is not in good condition, and it's not flat and it's not level, then you have to fix that before you install your tray. So if you've got a floor that's in pretty good shape and it's pretty level, then a shower foam tray is a good option. But as you see in this video, it was not a good option. The floor was way out of whack. So just wanted to get that out there. If you want to make it easier on yourself, you can use a foam tray if that's an option. So as I said, there's going to be the first video is going to be about the layout. I'll show you what tile I've used. I will show you some, I'll cut back and forth to actually show you how it ended up. and that's it. So this is the first video. In the next video, I think I'm going to do the installation of the Curdy board. In this shower, the actual walls, the two end walls, were actually pretty good. They were pretty flat, and you'll see how I check out the studs in that other video. But the back wall, I had to wet shim, and I have a few videos about that also, but I'll go into more detail on this one here. So I hope you enjoy the video. I hope you get some information out of it. And also, as always, don't forget to subscribe. Leave your comments in the comment section below. And I'm also now on Patreon, so I'll put a link to that as well in the description. If you go over there, check it out, and maybe become a patron, I'd be very grateful. So, and one last thing, don't forget to check my online store, dibsmart.com. Thanks a lot, and I hope you enjoy the video and you get some useful information out of it. Okay, so I laid out some tile here so I can get some references by mark with to lay out the tile. And this is the tile that I'm using for anyone interested. And so now I'm gonna figure out, this is gonna go on a running bond. So it's gonna go running bond is like a brick pattern. So it's going to be a running bond pattern all the way around. The ceiling is going to have square tile, 12 by 12. I think it's 12 by 12 or 13 by 13. And this here is going to go this wall, the back wall, the side wall, all the way down. And then the floor you saw. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to figure this out now. That's for the walls. That's for the ceiling. I think this is for the floor too. Oh no, that's for the floor, and that's for the shower floor. Okay, so I measured these tiles. These are 10 by 20. So we'll just under 10 inches. So I figured out for going up and down. So if I start with a full tile on the floor, this is the height of my full tile at this height here. That gives me a full tile on the ceiling, all the way around. Also gives me a full tile here, full tile on the floor. And then, because this is sloped down like that, it's going to go from, say, an 8-inch piece down to a 9-inch piece, all the way across the bottom. So that's up and down. That's how I'm going to do it. This was an easy layout. So this is my center line. So if I start with a full tile, it's going to be in this brick pattern here. So with a full tile there, gives me just under a full tile here, and then so it'll be half and full, half and full. On both sides. So that's balanced out. And this is the niche, so it'll be right in the center of the niche as well. It will be in the center of the wall. And then that gives me, on this side, it gives me a piece like this, and a piece like this, and then it's like this, and then the Schluter trim down here. And then over here, it just runs through all the way that wall, and on that wall I'm going to have more or less the same piece that I have here. And so this will end up, the curb is going to be about this, because it's 6 inches wide, so the curb is going to be here, so it's going to die on the curb. And then on this side it's just going to run all the way across. And I test cut this. I made a test cut in this, because sometimes these tiles, when you try to cut a hole in them, they snap. So when I was laying out the tile for this here, I wanted to be sure that I wasn't going to run into a problem not being able to get the tile, because it's going to land with a small piece like this here. So I know I can cut those holes in that without having a problem, because I did a test cut. And there's also squares in here, and I'll try and get that on a grout line. So instead of cutting the square out, I'm just going to cut a U out. And then so that's basically it. So full tile on the floor, which gives me basically more or less a full tile on that back wall. This is over here like this. Full tile on the ceiling, full tile on the ceiling, full tile on the ceiling. So pretty easy layout. Now I'm going to start mixing cement and installing some tile. All done. Just gonna give this floor a final rinse.